So in this video, I do want to talk about things I want to have more of as a minimalist, because usually, of course, minimalism is about having less, is about decluttering and really focusing on the few things we really need and want to have in our lives. But there are some things I discovered during the past few years that I want to have more of. Now, it might not surprise you that there will be some non-material things on the list, but not only. So let's get started with the first one. I want to have more quality. Now that means that I want to choose my items more intentionally, and I'm okay with spending more money, with researching longer and making sure that the item I'm purchasing is actually exactly or almost exactly what I want to have in my life. Now, there are no perfect items, and I explained in my last video, for example, that I think focusing so much on stuff won't be the solution for minimalism either. So I don't think it makes sense to just put the trust of your whole life into things, looking for perfect things and wanting your things to run your life and bringing you happiness. But still, I think it does make sense, especially when moving into a more minimalist direction and having fewer things, to be more intentional, because one item might need to cover more than your past 10 items you had. Or, if something breaks, then you maybe don't have an extra one because you just have that one item. So some examples where the quality has improved and quality is really important to me now versus maybe 10 years ago is in my wardrobe. I do want to have clothes that I can wear for a long, long time and not like have solutions that I don't want to wear in a few months. My camera and tech equipment, I've loved photography since I was a child, and I'm really not gonna compromise on quality when it comes to my camera. Now, of course, you always have to compromise a little bit. So my camera right now is good for, pretty good for photography and okay for videography, but it's just the perfect camera that can do both good enough. Another example is kitchen items like frying pans. That's something that we have bought a new version of last year, and it wasn't an expensive one by all means, but we decided to go for stainless steel and not like these non-stick pans, just so that we don't have to buy a new one every few years because the coating destroys itself or we destroy it through cooking. So I just want to make a choice that's more informed and that can hopefully save me some money, time, stress, and further decisions in the future as well. So the next thing I want to have more of as a minimalist are new and exciting experiences. Now, I've always wanted these, but I think when you take away the stuff from your life, that maybe makes you want even more from experiences. And I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking out experiences, but I still think we have to be careful with it, because again, I do think it's not the wisest decision to ask happiness and purpose and everything in your life kind of from these experiences, from accomplishing traveling to every country of the world and getting degrees and checking off a list of goals and bucket lists and things like that. But I do still want to have fresh experiences, no matter how small they are. So something like that would be cutting my hair short and now growing it out again. It changes my appearance, it changes how I experience my hair, and I can maybe discover new ways I like my hair to be. It's also maybe cold water swimming. Now, I'm not a pro at this and I'm not gonna go ice swimming, but I've experienced some pretty cold water temperature this summer in Scandinavia and I loved it, and it has been the first time that I went into really cold water, and I want to continue that here, but I'm struggling with it, and that's just, everyday life coming in the way of these fun new experiences. But so I do want to make an effort to seek out some new things. Also, what I've been doing is learning new languages and just shifting away the focus from stuff and mindless consumption to stimulate my brain and happiness hormones and everything, and more so put it into experiences and learning and smaller things that I can do and that don't have a carbon footprint or that don't require stuff and money and things like that. Now, something very material and very non-minimalist. I realized as a minimalist, I do want to have more sweaters. And now I don't want to have like 100 sweaters, but I think it might happen that in a month or so I will own 10 sweaters. And I know for a fact that my life works with 3 sweaters. So for a few years, I always had 3 sweaters, and I kind of changed them up because as soon as one sweater would enter my life, I would declutter the sweater that I was like least fond of. But then I did realize that I actually do like to have a certain variety, and that sweaters are just something that I feel drawn towards, and that I like to also, when I look at a collection of a sustainable brand that wants to sponsor a video or collaborate with me, it's always the sweaters that I want to have, even though I kind of know like I don't need more sweaters. And so what I've decided to do is try out some kind of balance. So I'm allowing myself to own more sweaters than I need, but I also really want to be intentional with it and make sure it won't go overboard. I'm not going to turn into a sweater hoarder. I really don't want to do that. Now, the fourth one is something that might be controversial, but let's just be really, really honest. As a minimalist, from the point I am at right now, I do want to have more money. Now, I'm still in a very privileged position to have some savings and to live in Germany, have an apartment, be able to pay my bills, be able to travel and things like that. And what I do for a living is this YouTube channel and being a content creator, which is something I choose intentionally. And I studied social work, so I could always get a job there. But my situation right now, so I decide to do this, and this is what makes me happy and what I'm passionate about, but it's not really earning me enough money. So money is something I think more about than I want to, and I know that money is not going to make me happy. But still, for the future, in the next 5 years, I do have to find a solution to have a little bit more money. I do want to be able to really choose the most sustainable and ethical products when it comes to grocery shopping and when it comes to just other things I need to buy. I do want to be able to, donate to charities and not think about money all the time and prioritize more so what I want to experience rather than looking at my budget. And as I've said, I'm still in a privileged position and I'm not in any way like wanting to be rich. Actually, I'm not interested in having a huge amount of money, but I'm interested in not having to worry or think about money. And this is controversial maybe because I've got a lot of like very critical comments in the past of people either saying that they don't believe I live off this YouTube channel, but I do, and my boyfriend is not like supporting me. And there are other people that say like, get a real job and why are you complaining and it's so pathetic and I don't know, just this is not a life you're supposed to live, but this is what I choose. That's what many people live off. But with a channel that size, it's just difficult, especially because I also choose partner brands and collaboration partners very, very carefully to ensure that they are sustainable and ethical companies as well, and kind of like share a lot of my values. And the last one, the fifth one, also kind of has to do with money, and it would be a result of having a bit more money. And it's also kind of why I pursue minimalism in general, like a part of the reason, and that's I want to have more flexibility. And so there's many things to that. Flexibility can of course mean a bunch of different things as well. So the flexibility that I get from having less stuff is that I could move more easily, that it's easier for me to pack for vacation, that I don't have to care that much for my stuff, I don't have to clean my stuff that much, and also maybe don't have like to spend that much money because I don't want to have a lot of stuff. And the flexibility I get because I choose to be a content creator is having like vast flexibility when it comes to choosing my place of work. I could work from everywhere in the world, and I can pretty much decide when I'm working and when I'm not working, which of course also comes with the downside of working all the time and not really taking time off or going other places in the world to work. But the other flexibility would of course be like being more flexible again when it comes to like choosing the things I buy, because money is not an issue, and choosing how I spend my time because I don't have to work that much maybe, choosing how to travel, where to travel, when to travel, and how much to travel, where to live, and if I want to move, because if money is not an issue or if nothing is holding me back. And I think that's really a combination out of like mindset, practical stuff, and restrictions I have, for example, because my son is in school and school laws in Germany are pretty strict, so you can't just take your kid out of school. And of course, again, like, the money side. So these are the 5 things that I want to have more of as a minimalist. I do want to have a few more sweaters. I do want to have new experiences. I do want to have more quality when it comes to the things that I choose to have in my life. I do want to have more flexibility with everything in my life. And it would be amazing if I had a little bit more money. Now I would be really interested in the things that you want to have more of, no matter if you're a minimalist, if you're living intentionally in another way, if you just happen to click on this video without usually thinking about related topics. I would really be interested in reading your thoughts about that in the comments down below. Now I'm gonna link a Q&A there, which I think covers some pretty interesting topics as well. So I do hope I see you there. And otherwise, until next time, bye.